Hello there.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Long time no talk.
I know, it's been a while. I'm sure the people are wondering where our episodes are.
Yeah. I assume that no one cares, but when we go too long, people ask me things on Twitter. So
Yeah.
some people care.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
Yep.
So we should record a podcast.
Yeah, let's do it. I think there's been a lot going on. Obviously, we had, I think, good reason for missing the last few. Lots of life changes and stuff happening. So this could be
life changes
meaty one.
and sickness.
Yeah, that too.
We were close like once or twice that didn't quite get there because of illness.
Yep, totally.
Let's talk about what's new.
Yeah, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay.
So I got a job.
A J-O-B.
Yep, I am working for the man again.
All right. How does it feel?
It feels mostly pretty good, actually. So far, I'm getting sort of what I hoped out of it, which is structure and people and team interaction and that sort of thing. And new problems and a distance from problems, too, where it's like, oh, yeah, there are things we have to do, but it's not subsuming my life. So I'm working for a company called Mackey, and Mackey makes a note-taking app for hedge funds.
Oh, interesting.
So it's kind of like Evernote for hedge funds.
Okay. What makes it unique to the hedge fund problem space? I'm intrigued.
Some things that I'm still learning, so I'm still getting my head around the product. But there are things like the app has a connection to databases of public companies, for example. So if you're talking about a particular stock, let's say, in a note, it will automatically notice that. And if you hover it, you'll get some information about that company, that sort of thing.
Got it.
So I've been there for not even 3 weeks, I guess. And so I think there will be more than that. But it's actually kind of interesting to me how much it is mostly just a note-taking app that's sort of niched down into this particular thing.
Is this a classic startup, like raised some funding and has a smallish team that they're growing? Or like what stage is this company at?
So it's a bootstrap company. There are about 20 people. I think it's 5 years old or so. The CEO started as an analyst at a hedge fund and didn't like the tools he had, so decided to start one.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a stable company, post product market fit, growing, and all that good stuff.
That's what it seems like, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think product market fit is definitely there, and stability seems to be there, although, it's a little hard to tell for sure.
Sure.
But seems good.
Not that it would be like the end of the world if like you took a job at a company and then 8 months later they ran out of funding, and like worst case you would just go pick up another job or something. But
right, exactly.
It's a story that I hear quite often when we're like interviewing folks in the area who have kind of been working for startups for a while, and they do get like kind of tired of the roller coaster of like, yeah, we were supposed to have this grand team we were building, and then it turns out I got laid off.
Yep.
So
no, I think it feels post that phase, which is nice. Dev team is like 7 developers, I think.
Mm-hmm. It's a good size.
It's not too big, but it's big enough that there are interesting things happening. Stack wise, it's kind of a really good fit for me technologically, which is a big appeal. So the app started as a Rails app with Angular as on the front end, and then there's sort of basically 2 big projects in process right now, which is rewriting or ripping out big pieces of the Rails app to turn into Haskell, and ripping out big pieces of the Angular to turn into Elm code.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Those are intriguing technologies for me too. Like obviously we've talked a lot about Elm and functional programming and all the good things that come from that. But I'm curious if you have like backstory on how that decision was made to abandon Rails, because when I hear note-taking app, I'm like, that sounds like classic good fit for Rails, like standard CRUD stuff and all the productivity benefits that come from that. So do you have like an inside take on what the thinking was?
I wasn't there for that, so I don't know much of it, or all I know is sort of hearsay. My impression is that the Rails app was kind of your classic like prototype turned real product thing, where everyone thought like, oh, like this might not work, and we just got to go fast and such. And so the Rails app accumulated a lot of tech debt. And so I think the Haskell, and I think the Angular as well, and so I think the Haskell move and the Elm move were sort of motivated by that, where it's like, well, this is kind of bad. We have to rewrite. We probably will want to rewrite bits of this anyway. Static type systems might help us make this code more correct and more maintainable. Let's try that.
Have they had trouble finding people who want to work in these languages, or is this kind of like riding a wave of people I guess like a good subset of developers who are solid devs and interested in these technologies? Do you feel like it's been a difficult sell for them?
No, I don't think so. I think the interesting technologies have been a big draw for people.
Yeah.
Vanilla Rails app, not super interesting. I don't think I would have joined if the opportunity to write Haskell and Elm weren't there on the table. And they had recently just hired before me, a few months before me, 2 other Haskellers who both seem very strong to me. So I think the use a slightly more interesting technology approach has probably helped with hiring a good bit there.
That's good. That's encouraging, because for things I do in the future, like there's 2 sides of me that are kind of pulling in the opposite direction. One is like use technologies that you know well, and you know that there's a large base of people who are very proficient in them. But the other side of the coin is like there's something intriguing for me as a technologist to work on technologies that are a bit newer and more interesting. And I think my hypothesis is that there's an interesting recruiting angle there of like being able to find some really top-notch people who feel the same way.
Yeah, I actually feel like for all my side project type things, I always have that push-pull where it's like there's things I know very well that I know I would be productive in, but there are things I also want to learn. So is this side project for learning, or is it for getting done quickly, or like started up quickly? So it's tricky.
Is there a particular like web framework for Haskell that they're using?
I don't think so yet. So the approach has been a little atypical, I would say. The Haskell stuff is currently being extracted into mostly command line tools that the Rails app then kind of shells out into.
Okay.
Yep. So as far as I know, there's no Haskell web framework yet.
Got it.
I think there is support for that, but as of today, the Rails app is kind of like a wrapper around some
a coordinating, just like a coordinating layer.
Exactly.
Interesting.
It's different. We'll see how it works out.
Mm-hmm. And personally, so you've been obviously commuting into an office, so it's been a different change in pace. Are you finding that to be kind of in line with what you were anticipating, which is like a good, healthy thing for your mental state and just your overall happiness with your work?
Yeah, totally. Just doing stuff with people is so my jam compared to doing my own thing. It feels like such a better fit. It's bittersweet to some extent, and it was hard to give up all that freedom. You and I recording in the middle of the day podcasts or meeting people at random hours for lunch or things like that. That was really fun. So it's hard to have a more set schedule. The net upshot of it to me feels pretty positive.
Yeah, and I think it's a cautionary thing for people who sort of like romanticize the being independent or being indie or whatever. Like those are strong benefits, but you also have to know yourself well enough to know like what the time you're actually spending working is going to probably be the dominant thing you spend your time on any given day. And so while it's nice to have the flexibility, you have to make sure that it's also in line with how you work best. And it's easy to forget about that, you know?
Definitely. And it's telling to me that like our last episode with Sherry, she wrote a whole book and is building a whole business around how mentally challenging it is to start and run companies yourself. I imagine there are books about the mental challenge of working a job, but probably not as much. I feel like the stress level is just different.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. So then it's just a matter of like making sure that you are, since you have less flexibility to work on the things you want to be working on, it's just making sure that you're picking the right fit. And I think, fortunately, we're in an industry where it's sort of on the side of the developer to kind of have their pick if you're experienced and, in the industry. So.
Mm-hmm. Totally. It's a good life.
Yep, it is.
Even the not so good jobs are still pretty good, it seems like.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Yeah.
So what does this mean for Code Quality Challenge, refactoring Rails, and some of the other projects?
It's a good question. I'm not totally sure. Knowing me, if I'm not paying a lot of attention to them, the default is nothing. Like the default is they basically just quietly, nothing happens to them. I've never been amazing at doing stuff at nights and weekends. The optimist in me is like, oh, I could still run Code Quality Challenge cohorts or something. It's like, yeah, and maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. I do have these nice, valuable email lists. So it's like I could try to sell a cohort of the Code Quality Challenge. I would say that's one possible option. It's actually a decent amount of work, even with content kind of pre-written to do it well. I've had a couple people ping me about it, and so I'm thinking about just like trying to slap a price tag on it and see what would happen. I don't know is the answer, I guess.
Yeah. I think you'll figure it out.
Yeah. It's lower priority now, as obviously, as you would imagine.
Moving back into sort of the realm of an employee, does this change any of goals you might have had about like personal brand stuff or like putting stuff out there? Like, does this shift your focus at all, or just kind of move that to the back seat? Or
it kind of depends on how I feel about Haskell after using it in anger.
Yeah.
Because I've always loved teaching the things I'm learning, and I'm learning a bunch about Haskell right now, but I don't have a fully formed opinion of it. So I'm kind of hoping that Haskell is awesome and I love it. And if so, I think I will pretty quickly want to start giving talks about it somehow, somewhere, or teaching it in some fashion. That's probably the most likely like next step that concerns personal branding and things like that. I don't want to go try to sell people on something that I don't really know about. So I feel like I'm in exploration mode right now. And that's where I think my best content comes from, is distilling it down from a lot of experience with it.
Mm-hmm. After you go through this for a while, you're not going to be struggling to find like interesting things to share about it. It's just going to pour out of you because you've been deep in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I expect more updates there. I spent all of Thursday and Friday kind of writing and reading and pairing on Haskell, and it's got some pretty awesome brain bender, mind expander stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
It's pretty awesome that way. I told the person I was pairing with at one point, I was like, I feel a little bit like we're slacking off because of how interesting this is. Where,
yeah,
like we were like kind of chasing down this thing, and we went into a little bit of a rabbit hole, but it was just kind of like, well, this is work relevant research that I'm learning about right now, and like building my Haskell intuition and things like that. It felt like play at the time. It was really cool.
That takes me back to like the first time I really started doing professional software development after being just a hobbyist for many years. And it took a while to wrap my head around the fact that like I'm actually getting paid to do this work because I'm just having a lot of fun, you know?
Totally. Yep. Yeah. I had the company order me a couple different Haskell books. And it's like just that fact alone. It's like, we're going to buy you a book and then you can read it. And that's like part of your job. It's just like, that's pretty awesome too. Like I'm just expanding my brain and getting better at a thing. And it just so happens that the thing I want to learn is aligned with your business goals. So you'll pay me to do it. It's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So there's definitely a win-win there.
Well, here's to never stagnating and continuing learning in our field. I'm a big proponent of that. And you see folks who kind of get to midway through their software careers and sort of get in a rut on like, this is my technology stack and this is all I care to know now, and I'm not going to deviate from this. And I hope to never get to that place where I feel like I want to stop learning, you know?
Totally. I had been in kind of the Rails world for a while, and so I was starting to feel a little bit of that. It's simultaneously fun, but also, or like it's interesting, but it's also painful to drop into a new ecosystem, language, technology, whatever, where it's like, oh man, I was so productive and knowledgeable about this thing, and now I am like so not. There is some pain there, but I feel like that's one of those pains you have to be okay with if you want to work in technology and stay relevant.
Yeah. There's always going to be a learning curve, and given it sufficient time to get up to speed with it, if you've picked the right technology, you achieve the level of productivity you had before, and you're better off because there's, other pros to using the new tech. So,
Sure. Yeah. It's another reason I feel lucky to work in technology or in development is because my attention span and like the thing I'm interested in is new generally. Like I like the steep parts of learning curves generally. And so the fact that I can kind of do that professionally and it's actually a useful thing as opposed to a negative is awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And there's plenty to do that I know how to do as well. So the Rails app, as I said, is kind of tech deady. So there's plenty of Ruby refactoring to do.
I think someone wrote a book on that or did a course on that. So you could check that out.
Yes. Yeah. That played into my interview, as you would imagine.
Yeah. That's cool.
So it's a nice match for my skills and my interests, which is awesome.
Yeah. That's cool.
So that's a little bit about me. What is going on with you?
Yeah, so some big changes are happening with me. This has sort of been brewing for the last few weeks and obviously given it a lot of thought, but the time is here for me to move on from Drip.
What? No.
Yeah, I know.
This is the first I'm hearing about this.
It still feels weird to say. When I look back and count the years, I've been there just over 5 years now, which is, a pretty long run in our technology world. So, and I've been, there from day one, wrote all the code for the first 9 months. So there's definitely like an emotional component to it, and just that kind of the inertia of like, I know this is the right time, but still it's tough to actually flip the switch on it. It feels like the right time for many reasons. We're entering kind of our next phase of focus in the business. The rebrand came out, and we're pushing deep into sort of the e-commerce world. We're calling ourselves an ECRM, which is a bold move. Everything's kind of moving in the right direction. The business is growing. Our technology team is growing. We have great leaders in place, and we're really in a great position to sort of really start going after our pretty aggressive growth goals. And I really feel like, the team is there to make that happen. And meanwhile, like my position has morphed over the last 5 years from deep in like individual contributor and maker mode into more of like sort of higher level, providing leadership and guidance to my team. And that's been a great experience, and I've learned a ton doing it. But I think we kind of all go through these cycles in our careers where there's more time leading and then more time doing. And I think, I feel like now is the time for me to get back to doing a bit more.
I mean, congrats just for that tenure and success.
Yeah,
and
thank
all
you.
that.
Thanks.
It's totally respectable to hang up the spurs after that ride. You're going out on top, in my mind.
I always hoped it would be this way, where like it was hard to picture, because even 12 months ago, I was pretty deeply in like a critical piece of the puzzle, I would say. And, I think it would come out in times where I would talk about what it's like coming back from vacation and having a mountain of work on my plate. And, really what that means is I haven't appropriately delegated to the point where I'm not a bottleneck for people, That's definitely one of my biggest weak spots, and something that I've learned a lot about over the past 5 years, and how to do better at it is delegating and not being a bottleneck for people. Rewind back that far, it was hard for me to imagine ever getting to the place where, I felt like the team was sufficient and could keep moving the ball forward without my direct involvement. But here we are, and I really feel like we're in that place, so it feels good.
That's awesome. I have no doubt that you would not step away until that was true.
When you start something and it's your baby, you want to leave it in the best possible state when you move on.
Yeah, of course. So were you CTO of Drip? Was that your title? Is it your title currently?
Oh, my technical title is VP of Engineering. Well, this is kind of an interesting topic too. Like Rob and I founded the company. We're both technical, but I really led the technical side of things, especially as we built out the team. We both have interest in product things too. Like, it's not always the case that the engineering side is also directly involved in sort of the product development side. And so we sort of like shared a lot of responsibilities and have continued to do that. But it is interesting that as the team has grown, we now have, I think, 18-ish developers, if you count designers, back-end developers, DevOps, all those roles. Just given the scaling challenges we have ahead of us to continue to scale the platform as we bring on ever larger customers, it's going to call for probably many more engineers and just a lot of deep, challenging decisions to be made. I think that calls for a level of experience beyond what I have to lead the technical side too. So we've been looking for a while for sort of experienced top executive talent as a CTO for the company. And we do have someone who will be starting actually next month. So that's been a long process. I got to know him, about a year ago, and he's been sort of advisory to the company for a while. And so I feel really, really good about that, because it's been like a sort of a slow dating process between the company and him, and not like in desperation, hiring the first person who has the qualifications we need.
Can you talk about who the person is, or are you waiting on that?
I'm not sure if that's fully public yet, actually.
Okay.
But
maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time.
It'd be interesting to chat about how you went about like kind of interviewing and getting to know this person.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I could dive into that more once I'm confident it's all public.
Okay. So what are you going to do?
That is the logical next question, isn't it? Yeah, so I think I'm actually not going to go into that too much today. So my last day with Drip is actually one day after this episode goes live, so next Friday. And by that time, I would like to have sort of a narrative crafted around what I am most interested in working on next. And I say most interested because my mind is not 100% made up that what I have in my gut that I want to work on is what I'm actually going to do, because I'm trying to be as practical about it as possible and make sure that I've gotten sufficient confidence from, doing some customer development and talking to folks and validating that my assumptions are correct. So right as I transition out, I want to really start aggressively having conversations with folks, and I want my first introduction of this to be kind of well composed. And so what I'm thinking about is basically a post that I will put up on my website, and will sort of lay the groundwork for the case to be made for what I want to work on next. And then I want there to be a sort of a call to action to let me know if this is interesting to you. And obviously I would love to have conversations with anyone who wants to talk to me about it. So
So you're going to post a manifesto, basically.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking.
Nice. That's cool. I think it makes sense to take advantage of your media bump that you will probably get as you announce your last day.
Yeah, that's sort of what, and I think a lot of people are going to be wondering, that's sort of the natural next question is you've had a long run at Drip. What are you doing now? So very excited, obviously scared. I'm sort of going through what you went through the last, what was it, 8 months ago or whenever you made the...
Yeah, 10 months, something.
10 months, when you made the leap of no income.
Yeah.
So that's...
But didn't you sell a company not too long ago?
Yeah, and that's really what I have to keep telling myself, and what my wife keeps telling me. She's good at reminding me about this. This is the whole reason why we did this, is so that eventually I could start my next thing and not have to cram it into nights and weekends, and that was part of the calculus of why sell Drip, what are my goals? And I knew that nights and weekends for me is just not something that I want to continue doing forever. It worked well for CodeTree. CodeTree happened as a nights and weekends project on the side. It was probably 4 or 5 months after I got married, so that was a big ask from my partner to say okay, now all this time that we were planning on spending together, I actually want to start working on a side business. And I'm glad that I'm blessed with the opportunity to not have to do that, and to just take the risk, take the leap, and try something without income.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the rule on this podcast is that only one of us can have a job at the same time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. So that's perfect. I appreciate you taking up the slack and providing the entrepreneurial stories as I take a job.
Yeah, no worries.
The timing is kind of hilariously perfect, actually.
It is, yeah. Kind of lined up nicely.
Yeah. So we'll still have our split of tales from different types of trenches.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's going to be great.
That's awesome. So on your last day, will Drip go ahead and move your accounts back to a paid plan, so you have to pay for all your stuff?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm just going to see how long I can ride on my Compt account. It's weird. So I was going through, in these last final weeks, sort of the administrative tasks required as you transition away from a company, and one of it was sort of assembling all of the credentials and logins for all the things that I have access to, and passing those along so that our ops people can either update the email address or just change the password on it, and as it's diligent to do. And so just knowing that I'm assembling all these accounts that I remember fondly setting up 4 years ago and administering for all these years, and just knowing that my access will be revoked within a matter of days from these things. It's for some reason that was a I know I'm going to hit these points where like kind of brings up a little nostalgia or just those types of feelings. And I definitely got hit with that when I was scraping out all my credentials. So
Totally. Yeah, I definitely had that experience with when I left Thoughtbot. With like a week would go by, and then all of a sudden this one thing would happen, and I go, "Oh my god, I'm never gonna X again." And it was like, "Wow, it's crazy how that works."
I'll always have to go into drip through the front door now and not through the admin console.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You better steal a bunch of coupon codes before it's too late.
Oh yeah, coupon codes. I got to steal some trail mix from the kitchenette.
Yep, exactly.
LaCroix. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of logins, every so often I still find like random old Thoughtbot related things that still work.
Yeah.
So, Thoughtbotters listening, I'll never tell you what I have access to.
Little do they know you've been mining Bitcoin on their AWS account
right.
for.
Yep, exactly. There's so many accounts. Like when someone signs up or leaves, it's just like there's just a million little bits you have to remember to flip.
I know, seriously. I mean, I look at my 1Password thing and I have like 780 logins in there.
Uh-huh.
And a good chunk of those, I mean, a certain slice of those are for drip. So it's quite a bit when you add them all up.
Yeah. You have me just beat. I have 768.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Well,
they go back a while.
Yeah, I know. What did we do without password managers, you know?
Oh my God. I have no idea. I mean, I use the same password everywhere like most people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was terrible. They got all the important things, but every so often I'll I still have access to a random code climate instance. I forgot about this or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got all the integrations we've built. Like I have a bunch of Shopify test accounts and Gumroad test accounts and stuff that are no one actually needs these to use these and they're free accounts anyways. But I should probably go through and shut them down or just delete the login. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, there are things I need to just update email addresses on because I use my Thoughtbot email address to sign up for it.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, an era is ending.
I know. Yeah. I'm excited though. Overall, it's a little, it's bittersweet for sure. I'm going to miss working with my team and shout out to Taylor, who I know listens to this podcast. Oh, the other question folks were asking me is so you're moving back to California, right? And the answer for now is actually I'm enjoying it in Minneapolis. It's a great community here. And so we're sticking around for a little while.
Wow. You're saying this in the dead of winter too.
I know, right? It's pretty hardcore. I feel hardcore.
Yeah. Okay. Boston would welcome you with open arms.
I do need to make a trip out to Boston.
You should.
I meant to do that. Well, geez, I probably talked about it last year. And then I think last May I was thinking about coming out and it just never ended up working. But
I really like showing people around the city. So I would be happy to be your guide.
Cool. Yeah. Let's get something on the calendar for sure.
Okay. Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Well, pretty good announcement. So I think next time maybe we should talk a little bit more about your future stuff and also do a quarterly goals check-in.
Sounds good.
Cool. So you're on notice for 1 week.
Okay. All right. I will try to get my act together.
Me too. I got some work to do.
Yeah.
I got a job though, so hey, one goal down.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm at least a 33% complete.
Nice.
Cool. Well, it's nice talking to you. Let's not wait so long to talk again.
Yeah. Let's not. Great to talk to you as well.
All right. If you'd like to access the show notes for this episode, you can go to artofproductpodcast.com. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Postlude? I got one thing.
Sure. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay. Steve Shoger and I have a call scheduled for next week.
Nice.
To talk about a logo for us.
Awesome. Very good.
You still down with spending a little money on that?
I am.
Right, cool.
I actually, so I'll go ahead and divulge this too, because who cares? I always want to get my identity established for any project I'm working on. And I know that these things take time anyways to kind of come together. So I've already been in contact with Steve to do a little branding identity work for my new project.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great call. I working with Steve is awesome. I think that was a solid idea.
Yeah, his work is just mind blowing on Twitter and all his design tips.
Yeah,
it's definitely working well for him. I think to establish his authority as a designer.
For sure.
It worked on me. So
Yeah.
and he's just a super nice guy. We had a good
yeah.
chat.
Yeah, and he was super cool with me too. When I was working on the code quality challenge, I gave him like kind of a somewhat aggressive deadline where I was trying to, because I had announced in the podcast when the signups would open or something, and he worked over the weekend to hit that, and it was just, I really appreciated it.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a good guy.
Yep. Cool. Well, I'm excited for our podcast to get a little facelift too.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, he's worked on my stuff and then your stuff and then our mutual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're designed by Steve Sugar in Canada somewhere.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. I think that's all I have for that are, that kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. I got to go check on, I'm making a pasta dish that involves stewing some things for a long time. And I think it's time to check on it.
That sounds like it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. It's like this short rib, tagliatelle pasta.
Say no more.
Yeah.
Anything that you cook low and slow turns delicious. It's
does.
like cheating. It's not
That
fair.
is the origin of flavor right there.
Yeah. And tenderness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Well, I do not want to ruin your short ribs.
Yeah, I better go check on them.
All right. Good chatting.
Good chatting with you too.
See you same time next time?
I think so.
I think so too.
I'll just check my calendar while we're live on the air. Let's just see.
Now this is good radio.
I know, this is riveting stuff. Like, this is why people stick around for the postlude. Yeah, I think tentatively let's put it in and then
All right, I sent you that.
Cool.
All right, cool. All right, enjoy your day.
All right, you too, man. See ya.
Love you. Bye.